Hi, my name is Olivia Sullivan, and I'm just going to be continuing to read my novel Gasoline Rainbows. And per usual, I have baby food stains on my sleeves, so don't mind me. Also, per usual, just it's been kind of a hard day for me personally, so hopefully you all are having a much better day. Yeah. I put some blueberries on the plate in there for you. You find them? You find them? They're in there with Frankie. So, yeah, I hope you're all having a really good day. Something really good happens for you today, and I'll just start reading Gasoline Rainbows. Thank you all for being here and for listening. And I hope if you're here that this story can help you or distract you or I don't know, just do something for you, add something to your day. That would be my dream. And I'll just go ahead and get started. I'll pick up where I left off last time. Help, I whispered. He had tears in his eyes. I put my head to the ground and screamed like the time I saw that my dad had accidentally stepped in the bear trap and the trap's teeth sank into his leg good. He had to pry it off by himself and then jump, one-legged, into the house to ask Uriel for help. He was screaming. I was screaming. Uriel was dumping the whole bottle of peroxide on his torn-up calf. Can you throw it in the trash? Okay. It looked like a zebra that had been ripped open the moment before by a lion. Like a steak you just wouldn't want. The boy reached into his cart and pulled a long red velvet ribbon. He placed it gently on my face and walked away, pushing his young life's work down the street. Help, I said again to no one. No one could hear me, understand me. I sat up and looked at it. It was still oozing blood. The shooting stream had stopped, though. I took the velvet ribbon and wrapped it on my nub, tying it the best I could with one hand. It was no Tiffany bow, but the knot made it stay on. I sat in the gutter a long time, watching the sky fall in dew colors, just like I used to in Plain Cap. Now the story is from Jean's perspective again. Jean. The beach party was on. Mostly it was girls who showed up. One of them brought a bottle of gin. She passed it to me and I refused, which they all thought was just about the most backwards thing they had ever witnessed. Honey came up behind me and wrapped her arms around my waist, whispering, "When are you going to marry me already?" I took her in my arms and ran right into the ocean. She screamed that high-pitched scream of dramatic desperation. It's the same scream when someone is tickling your ribs and it sort of terrifies you and excites you, all at the same time. The darnest thing happened when I was knee-deep in that icicle water. I set Honey down, and she scampered back to shore with her friends. I was aware of where I was, in a way. I knew I was on a beach with strangers. I knew my calves were numb and night was falling. But just like I was possessed by something bigger than my dreams and nightmares combined, I reached into the water and picked up a jagged rock. I sloshed to the stones on the shore, the ones everyone was sitting on earlier. I put my left hand palm down on the rock and took to beating the finger meant for a wedding ring with that rock I picked up in the water. I beat my finger even though I didn't want to, and was horrified by what I saw. I saw blood and flesh being ripped apart by my own hands. Screaming came from the beach. Not the play screams this time. These were real screams. The one-armed man came and tried to take the rock from me, but not even him pulling on me could make me stop. I only stopped when my finger lay separate from the hand it once belonged to in a scraggly chunk. My blood streamed from the rock onto the sand, into the sea. The bloodletting was profuse. I dunked my hand underneath the water's surface so I didn't have to look at it anymore. Honey rushed in and pulled my body to the sand. From her hair, she drew out her red ribbon, letting her hair fall down to the middle of her back. She tied the silk ribbon around my finger, then stood up. I won't ask you why you did that. The people of the beach party stood around waiting, I suppose, to see what my next move could possibly be. I sat Indian style, looking out at the sea. My heart ached so deep it made my stomach feel like it was filled with pebbles. My head was throbbing, my eyes were dimming. I saw a shark fin. She was coming, I guess, to investigate the blood that wouldn't lead to anything that would feed her. My eyes were dimming still darker. My body slumped like a sack of potatoes onto the sand, and in my last moments on that beach, I heard the man say, "Well, this sure isn't a fun party." Now it's from the perspective of Gabriel. The way I woke up was like no other way I had ever woken up. I was in the wet grass, and people were running all around, speaking some language and some words that were completely unfamiliar to me. Somehow, though, I could make out what they were talking about. I sat up and looked around me. Miles and miles of open meadows were spreading in every direction, and a fog hung over it. The air was heavy with the vapor of rain. A fireplace that stood about 8 foot tall in the middle of the meadows held a dry fire crackling. It was a fireplace with no home. It stood by itself in this open field. A few people were sitting near it, putting their little hands dangerously close just to have warmth touch them. There must have been about 25 people milling around. "Excuse me, where are we?" I asked the crowd by the fireplace. A guy who looked like he was about my age turned from the fire. "Hey, look who opened his eyes." "Where are my friends?" "These are the fellows that found you like a rag doll." The way he was talking was a mystery. As he named off the people who found me, they turned and flapped their hand up quickly to say hello. There was Tommy. That was him. Toady, Lowell Stockins, Teal 9, Sharon, Gemini, Bosox Cleans Martin, and Young Wild. Hi, everyone. My other friends, the ones I came here with. He shook his head, looking to the others so they could agree. "You were alone." Alone I was, and alone I felt. The more I listened, the more the gravel in their mouths went away, and it became just like speaking to Hazel or one of the others. I kept asking where I was, and kept hearing in reply that I was in the moors of Erin, but not knowing what that was, kept wondering what this place was, and kept reaching out to the red-headed people passing by. I crawled along the mud squishy ground to the fireplace. Tommy gave me a wine bottle to take the edge off my stomach knives. We've been hungry here many moons now. No food. Are you all done? Thank you. Thank you. I'll get you some more in a minute. Do you want more? We've been hungry here many moons now. No food to be had unless Toady and Young Wild get a bird to the ground. They're the best at it here. "Are you any good?" he asked me. I pulled from the bottle of wine. It was the bitterest sap that ever came into my mouth, but I took it down anyway. My face was dimmed with worry. I could feel it. "Feel better yet? Drink more on it. Drown out the worry with it. Drown the poison with more poison." A girl with hair the color of rusted copper came by us with a big bunch of flowers. She stood among our circle. These flowers were orange and red, but somehow they reminded me of the gray flowers of Plainecap. Lowell Stockins went behind the fireplace and came back with a cauldron half as tall as him. The flowers went in by the hand of the girl with copper rest hair down her back. Mama always said that if you think red hair thoughts, red hair will start to come out. First, it will only glint in the sun until eventually it shines in fluorescent bathroom lights. Mama had bright fuchsia red hair as a young person and wanted it back as an adult, but it had faded from the day she met Daddy and didn't stop turning to a deeper kind of velvet tan until the day she left me. We would sit together and close our eyes chanting, red hair, give us some red hair. We sat together thinking red hair thoughts. A long time ago, of course. Lil Stockins said, Myram Shoto, did you see we have a new friend? Myram Shoto sat down beside me without looking at me once. Her hair looked like straw this close. She said, now we wait for the rain. I stood up saying I had to leave, find my friends, and find my way home. Myram Shoto looked at me. I could feel her thoughts. Screaming I was dumb and unruly and not even functioning barely. You get eaten up by those beasts if you leave. Sun goes down, then mean things come to life. Where? What beast? He asked. Everyone stopped and looked around us, out to a faraway place. Is there some place we could go? Some shelter? We can't just stay out here all night, can we? I asked desperately. Myram Shoto petted my head like I was some dumb cat that ran into the glass window because it was too clean and clear. Waiting for the rain, that's all. The clouds full of rain weren't coming for the flowers still, but darkness sure was. If I put my eyes on that fire only and blacked out everything and everyone outside of that, it was almost like we were in Jean's house again and not in this damp field with strange talking people. Where's the place you call home, Sir Gabriel? Plain Cap, Alaska. What's that? Is that by the sea? Surrounded by the sea, Alaska is. Haven't you ever heard of Alaska in America? You know, the cold place? My dad's a crabber there. We just moved from Miami. Don't laugh, I know it's a long way from home. Oh, that's exciting. I need to go back to Miami, I think. America, what's that? That's a place we don't know. I sort of smiled, thinking they were fooling with me. It turns out they weren't. The field people were an honest, flower-cooking, rain-waiting bunch. The giant came lumbering up, getting bigger as he got closer. He was hauling up a bucket, which turned out to hold water with leaves and dust fuzzies on it. I got this for you, Myram Shoto. Will you smile now? He asked. She looked up at him and bared all her teeth in the most forced smile I've ever seen. Dripping. Yeah. Okay. Here I go. Dripping with hideous false saccharin. He poured the water in. The cauldron got lifted into the flames by a team of short, raggedy children, some of them springing out of the grass without warning, it seemed. Out of nowhere. Night was here, and beasts were howling ever closer. Okay, I'll stop there. Let's eat our veggies and dip first, okay? Or okay. Alrighty. Okay, and that's where I'll leave off for today. I'll get some for you. Okay? I'll get some more blueberries for you. Okay. Take it over there and I'll get some for you, okay? I'll be right up. Can you open up the fridge? Yeah, I'll get some for you. Okay, thank you again for being here and listening to Gasoline Rainbows, and have a wonderful day. Bye.